Alright guys, J Rich here, and today I'm going to be installing coax into the 2019 Freightliner Coronado. And here is the diagram of the coax routing. Right here is your driver's side mirror. Your coax runs down in through the hoop, into the door, down to the bottom, goes through a boot, and then into the lower kick panel, up along the firewall, across the dash, into this box. Here's a closer diagram of the box right here. Then you have your passenger side mirror. It comes in the same way, through the hoop, down the door, into the kick panel, along the top of the dash, and into the box. From the box, one coax runs out and into the back of the radio. So I'm getting horrible radio reception on the AM/FM radio, and on the CB radio it sucks something awful bad. So the problem is these boxes suck. From the box, you got coax that runs out up the A pillar and to the upper CB cabinet to plug into the back of your CB radio. This is way too much in my opinion. This is why the system sucks on Freightliner. So I've got 18 feet of coax with one end on it. See, I got the PL259 on that end. I'm going to start on the outside of the truck, hook this to the CB antenna behind the mirror, and then try to run this in straight to the CB. Goes right up to the upper cabinet into the CB. Now I found this, get rid of this paper here. I found this on Amazon. It's AM/FM antenna cable. And as you see, one end has a PL259 and the other end has the radio antenna. This is 12 feet, or 10 feet, excuse me. I did get an extension of about 3 or 4 feet that's got a end that this plugs into, and then this plug is on the other end of it. So in case this 10 feet is not long enough, I should be able to get it. So we'll have the passenger side antenna goes to the AM/FM radio, and the driver side antenna goes to the coax. I'm going to try to walk you through it step by step and make this video as short as possible. Stay with me. I finally got the chrome mirror cover off, and there are 3 bolts that hold this in. You will have a T25, a T25, and a T15 right there. Then these 2 little clips hold it in. So you will have to get the mirror out. And the mirror has these little clips on the side of it. Just get your little tool behind them, pry them out from this side. Then you will have a bolt right here, be one right there, and then let's see, right in here is the T15 right there. Doesn't have to be this hard, but looks like one thing Freightliner did do. Here's the back of your mirror. You're going to need to get it off so you can get to your connector there. And I'm going to leave that connector intact, try to as much as I can. One good thing Freightliner did do is they did ground the mirror to the body itself. So that's a plus right there. Okay guys, so I got the coax is run to the antenna mount, runs down into the hoop, up out the top. At some point you're going to have to come up here and maneuver the wire to come out. Now we're going to run it in through the door, and the door panel has to come off. And I forgot to tell you that there is a cap here. It just has one screw. It's a T25 on there, and then there's a little spot where the cap kind of slides back in, so you have to kind of bump that off of there. So now the door panel has to come off, and yeah, there's a lot and more bolts to get this damn door panel off. This is freaking ridiculous, Freightliner. Jesus. I don't I don't know why it takes that many bolts to hold the door panel on. But yeah, still working on it. All right, so I have your window rolled up, and you're gonna fish the coax down through this hole and then come out through the door. So your coax is coming up inside the black panel, and it'll fall down, and you'll find it somewhere between here and here is where I found it. And I'm gonna stick that back up like that. Now I took and peeled the grommet out of this wall and out of right here, and I ran a coat hanger down through and then into the door. It goes in the door, and I was able to catch it out here, and the coax come down. So now I'm going to tape the coax. I got the coax taped, and I'm going to pull it through this boot very gently, very gently, and then we'll be able to catch it out past here. I think once we're in past this boot, I do believe the hard part is over. I really think the hard part is very over. But yeah, this is ridiculous. All these bolts and clips that hold this door panel on, it's just too much. Holy shit! Guys, I mean, really, I'd rather do 10. I'd rather do 100 Kenworths and 100 379s than to do one more of these damn Freightliners. This panel is off the bottom of the door here. That does absolutely no good to take that off, so leave that on. And like I said, I would leave this metal panel on. There's just you can see all the bolts all the way down through. It does hold your window regulator in your window, so I would not take that out. Just work with it, try to fish it through. All right, guys, so I'm about 2 to 2.5 hours into this coax thing, and I've got the coax pulled from the mirror down into the door panel and coming out of this boot here. So the next step is to run it in and remove this panel to get the coax inside the truck. But the door panel, everything is back on. On this bolt right here, the door lock actuator is partially held in by that bolt, so make sure you get that back in there. But the mirror is back together, the mirror cap. Like I said, remove the mirror to gain access to 3 bolts that hold the chrome cap on. You have 1 bolt here to get that off. The door panel has to come off, and there is a variety of different star fasteners, and there is even one right back in here. You really can't see it. The tools you will need: I highly recommend a impact driver just to make getting these bolts on and off easy or faster. You will need a variety of torque bits, like this long one right here. It's a T25. This is to get the bolt behind the door handle, the inside door handle. You also need a T15 for one of the bolts behind the mirror, unless mine's just a unicorn and I'm the only one that's got one T15 behind the thing. You will need a T25, a T30. You will also need a T40. T40 will be for these right here. You got 2 of them. We'll need a T40. I suggest a dental pick like so, just to manipulate some things, like that door lock actuator, getting it lined back up. Your coax, when it comes to the when your coax comes out to the top of this mirror hoop, it's more than likely going to get stuck. You'll need something to kind of dig in there and manipulate it around to where you can push it back up. So yeah, 2.5 hours, and this has been I don't want to do one of these again. Flashlight's always good to have. You may find that you need a couple of other things, but nothing too ridiculous. So let's continue on a little further here. I'm going to need a T25. So let me put these up. And to get this panel loose, shoot, I've got to take this these 3 bolts out, pull the weather strip back, and pull the carpet back. And there are 2 bolts right there that hold this kick panel in. So I'm gonna continue working, get that out of the way, guys. All right, what I do want to show you on this kick panel here, there are 3 screws. They are T20, and back behind the carpet, the 2 that I said before, those are T25. Now there's this this push lock pin that's right here, and I'm gonna show you how to get it off. Use a door panel tool and come up. So get that center pin out, and then sometimes that will come out with it. Yeah, you got to get that out of the way. And now this panel will slide right out of there fairly easy. Alright, so I have the coax routed through this hole. Push the grommet back in. Now I'm going to run the coax simply up through here. And this panel here, you have to remove your weather strip to get to it. With this panel, you're going to pull it out and pull it to you somewhat gently. Well, let's go up to the top and get it out from that channel. And be careful, because the Bluetooth microphone, the wiring is behind here. So you don't, if you're using your Bluetooth, you don't want to rip that out. So I'm going to run the coax up with this wire in through here, and then come up through the panel and just run it across and over into the CB cabinet, and we're done. We're done. So this is the easiest part, guys. This really is. Hey guys, I appreciate you watching my video. I hope this helps some of y'all to do your own install on a Freightliner, or do your own install on anything, really. It's just a matter of taking stuff apart, figuring out how it works, and putting it back together. That's all it is. It's pretty simple. But yeah, so in the end, last night, after I got done with the installing the coax, I went to the CB shop, got the end installed, had to put the analyzer on the coax and the antenna. We come down to a 1.08 SWR, 52 ohms of resistance. So yeah, it's pretty good deal. The best thing Freightliner ever did on this truck, I do believe, is ground the mirror to the body, or to the door. So that's a good thing. I'm not having to fight grounding issues on the as far as getting the antennas grounded good. And I am using a Wilson 2000 antenna. Just one Wilson 2000 antenna, one coax. Very simple. Very simple. It's a lot less complicated than Freightliner's approach on doing coax and radio antennas, I guess, with the stupid box and all that stuff that never works good anyways. So there it is, guys. Forgive me if I sound frustrated in the video, because I was a little frustrated in the video. The total install time, my install time, was about 4 hours, start to finish. That's with me videoing. If you had some help, one helper, You don't need 2 helpers or 5 helpers, because that's going to get in the way. If you had somebody else helping you, you might do better, get down to about 3 hours. If you do this a few times, you might get it down to 2.5 hours or so. But I appreciate y'all watching my video. If you like it, really give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Give me a subscribe. It's a lot of work doing some of these videos and bring them to you, so that the next guy, he knows how to do it, because I don't know that there's another Freightliner Coronado install video out there on YouTube. Hopefully this might be the first one. So I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for watching. Y'all be careful.